Hello everyone and welcome back to Valorant Challenges Oceania. My name is Atlas and today we have a pretty big game on our hands. We have Peace and Love versus XG. It's going to be definitely an interesting game. You can already see by the comps being locked in that this is going to be no ordinary game. On the side of XG, we're starting off on Split. It's not even their map pick. Peace and Love decided to pick Split first. But this is where XG have been very dominant on their tournament run so far. And they play an interesting deadlock comp. Very interesting. Whereas on the other side of the things, we have Peace and Love, who play a triple duelist, I believe, on almost every single map. So, definitely some interesting decisions going around. But we will have to see. This should be a pretty awesome game to watch. We have my friend TJ Bruce here observing as well, so hopefully we will be able to catch all of these moments, because there's some very good talented players in the lobby. Like, I'm looking at Dasani, I'm looking at Water, looking at Doctor, the Neon main. Like, there's some pretty crazy players in this lobby. So yep, we will get into things now, as we are going into round one on Split. Like I said, this is Peace and Love's map pick. Not that, you know, the map picks and bans, I mean, they do matter, right? But this is a map that both of these teams clearly comfortable on. XG have been picking it whenever it's available. Whereas Peace and Love, I guess they're either very comfortable on it themselves, or they feel like, you know, from the last few games that have been around, they feel like they might be able to anti-strat somewhat. I don't know the preparation of these teams. But as we go into things, it's going to be Slide taking first contact here for Peace and Love. Going to have some utility from Dasani, holding them back for just a moment. All 5 players here. Dasani's just holding the tight angle. The first is gained. A nice headshot there. And now Peace and Love sort of just left reeling a little bit, barely even able to get into this A main choke point to begin with. And now a barrier in their face. Slide is trapped from the other members of the team. Has to knife that wall. Fortunately, a smoke to give him some safety to get through onto ramps. He's gotten a lot of space here. I'm not too sure if XG are aware that he's this pushed up. Of course, this boombot should give away this information as he peeks all the way forward. Manages to take down Downtail. Dasani, though, will get a nice trade. Now playing to just anchor the site here besides screens. Side by side with Spada Bang. Dasani's gotten a third. And now Doctor sliding in. Spots Dasani, but low HP. Dasani is on for a 4K here, and he will get it. Dasani, an excellent start into the series. 4 kills and getting the pistol round for XG. And like I said, this is a very star-studded cast of players that we have here. And Dasani, well, he's top of the list for, like, players that I look at and I'm like, yeah, this player can do some damage. On the other side of things, I mean, saw Slide and Doctor get some kills in that round. Of course, it is just a pistol and they tend to be pretty swingy. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But yeah, Dasani not dropping any slack straight off the bat. Now, once again, an interesting setup here. You can see one of those sonic sensors, 2 of them in fact, just right here in this main area. Actually, one of those might be a visual bug. There's only one sonic sensor. I'm not too sure why there's a that sort of leftover one from the last round. Anyway, bit of a fight going on in mid, and well, Lazy had an interesting TP play. He's going to break the Cypher trip, and he's got a gun, but Yuji stands strong, just using a ghost up against these other pistols. 2 for his troubles. Not too bad at all. Of course, Issa here will be able to pick up this Bulldog. It's a little bit of danger here, but there is 3 players just against the 1. And Issa's going to be pushing into 2. Spada Bang should be waiting here, should be watching. He spots the first. Well, there is only the 1, like I said. Now the fault line out, and Dasani, even though Issa's ahead of it, Dasani is more than good for it. The second round will be picked up by XG. No trouble at all. I mean, Lazy picked up definitely an interesting kill there, just with the paranoia and TP past, I would assume. You don't normally see players like that getting past players like, I think it was Shinobu who got killed by it. So, Shinobu almost being omen diffed a little bit. Bit of a funny moment there. Now the guns will come out for Peace and Love. So we'll see what they can get done with it going into their first gun round. Whereas for XG, a bonus with, you know, some level of weaponry. An outlaw, a vandal, and Dasani's quick to make the vandal work. Downtail as well, gets that 140 damage. So a great start, and eventually Dasani will fall water. He changed his account name recently, so it's that string of letters. That is water though. And Slide has walked up and gathered all this space on A, so now his team called to come and play on site, get that bomb down. As Slide is going to be pushing all the way forward, and I don't think XG are aware of this. Downtail's running with his knife out, and he's going to get picked up by Slide. Spartabang looking for this trade, but the paint shells will hold him back. Isa's found one on rafters, and now the bomb will be planted. The spike will go down, no trouble at all. All this space on site. I mean, you gotta wonder how XG let that one happen. You have a Cypher, you have a Deadlock, but all the utility, you can see it still up on the map. All of it was towards middle and the B site. No one was watching that walk up. Now in a 2v4, what can Yuji and Spartabang do? Not much just yet. Isa all the way down to 1 HP, but winning the fight against Yuji. Of course, this is a bonus, so Spartabang is probably just going to play for exits here, get as much damage as he can, and look at the minimap for Slides walking up behind him. Not before some damage is dealt. But yeah, Spartabang just not able to convert any of those kills, and so many players down to low HP. But none of them will fall. And, oh, looks like we have a tech pause as Shinobu has just disconnected. So, yeah, we will be waiting for a little while, waiting for him to get back into the game. So in fact, while we wait for that, I'm gonna put us to a little bit of a break. Put together a little hype montage, which you may have seen on Twitter. So while we're waiting for Shinobu to reconnect into the lobby, let's go have a look at that. Why not? We're going to be slowly creeping out. Dasani here should be making first contact as the wall drops. Snaps onto Regen and another beautiful shot. Catching onto Cats. The third one in the round. Two players, both of these are low. Both would fall to one bullet as water takes them down. 2 body shots, 2 kills. They choose to contact into him. This could be dangerous, but Doctor's looking the wrong way. Finally turns at just the right moment, takes down August. Now sliding out through the screens with the stinger. The run and gun action, like I said. Look to the side, Shinobu's been taken down, overwhelmed by the utility from Zupa. Downtail though, 2 wonderful shots and a third. Taken down, massive effort on the site by Downtail. Opting to go for the information with the Owl Drone instead, but Dasani, 2 crisp shots from the flank. Will convert the round for Zoogang, and it will be 6-6 at the half. Immediately popping the run back, and they're going straight through. Yeah, and Water should see this. The first found, a second, the spray transfer, peeking around the corner and finding a third. Water finding a ton of value off the ultimate. Okay, sorry, I had to cut that short. Shinobu has reconnected, so we are getting back into things. But hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. Just a few moments from the players in either team. The whole entire thing will be played at the end of the game, so to give you guys something to watch between the maps. So now we get back into things. This is the gun round for both of these teams, and an early skirmish in A main. Looks like Peace and Love are happy to play this fast. Doctor's found the first. Dasani finally falling. It's been a menace so far. Shinobu, though, missing the shots. That's an opportunity missed, as now he's going to be overwhelmed by the members of Peace and Love. Issa swiftly disposing of him. Yuji potentially going to fill this space on ramp, peeking it out. No one's there, so if he wants to, if he's feeling confident, he's going to be peeking forward. Doc just found one on site. Like I said, Yuji's claiming all the space, but look at the minimaps. The Omen is coming from behind, having lurked all the way up through mid, and Lazy will finish it off. So great stuff. I don't know if Water's going to live. Is he going to die to that ult? Nope. He will stay alive. The round timer bailing him out. The Annihilation invested into that round. Deadlock ultimate. So yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a crazy round. A lot of random things going on. I mean, I don't know how on earth Lazy ended up on ramp behind Yuji. I think it was a mid lurk, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. So now we wait, see what they can do in round 5. Peace and Love seem to have found a good response here to just press that W key and go fast, as Water's found the first, and Doctor quickly moving in. He's done some crazy stuff with the Stinger before, as we saw in that little montage. loves to use it, and well, okay, Slide maybe a little bit over eager there, but like I said, Doctor happy to just run in on the Neon with the Stinger and take 2 down, jumping in. Shinobu will eventually trade him, but I mean, the damage has more than been done here, as it's all down to Downtail. Only has a Sheriff. Maybe might get one here. Nope, not even one. Water will take him down. I always seem to say take him down and Downtail. Or like all down to Downtail. It always seems to happen. I need to stop saying down. But anyway. Yeah, Downtail just really wasn't able to do too much there, and fair enough. It was just an eco round. Now going into this one. It's going to be a pretty essential round for XG to win. Of course, with Peace and Love selecting split, XG chose to start on their defensive side. And this is an interesting one, because every time I've seen XG play this map, they've started on attack. And their attack has always been really, really good, so I haven't seen that much of their defense. So it's definitely an interesting one seeing it now. Dasani spotted the first. Some damage done, but no kills coming across, as he's just going to be forced to bail himself out with the satchels. So now Water pushing up with the ultimate, the run it back, not able to gain anything. Does dispose of one of those sonic sensors. So now that Heaven area of the B site will be a little bit weaker. It's Lazy just escapes, sitting in the dark cover. Was definitely hurt by Dasani though, and he doesn't have much HP. Dasani will remove him from the round. So now the rest of the players of Peace and Love grouping up towards B, and Yuji's fallen on site, so you no longer have to worry about that utility. And East of the late luck from mid. It's caught with his util in hand, but manages to escape with his life. Now Heaven is going to quickly be refilled by XG, but Doctor is waiting. Having walked all the way up, and he should hear those shots. He should peek out. He should get 2. Well played by Doctor, and now it's all down to Dasani. We've seen him do some pretty crazy stuff, but this will be a 1v4. It's unlikely, and he has the showstopper as well, but there's a third. Okay, it would be the ace, the 1v5. Swaps to a different weapon, hoping for some more ammo. This is a high-low crossfire that's not easy to break. And Issa will shut it down. No clutch today for Dasani. As now Peace and Love will reach 4 rounds. So a great start. And XG, I mean, the money's not entirely there. I mean, they might be able to scrape together some weird buy. But you have to stop and think about it, right? Because you can see Downtail forcing all the way up with that Guardian light shields. But he's only going to have 600 credits. It's not that much for the next round. Might not even be able to get a full rifle. Just we wait and see how this round goes. Yeah, and looks like they're just going to force into it. So 2 Sheriffs, 2 Vandals, and a Bulldog. An interesting buy here. There's a lot of players ahead. Dasani, he popped the showstopper. So many players here. He's gotten 4. There's no way. All of them caught. 4 kills for Dasani. Is he going to get the ace? He won't get the ace, but 4 kills. This round is over. This is completely over. Yuji shuts it down. 4 kills. Absolutely insane. Let's have a look at that. I hope that came across in the replay. Yeah, I mean, look at this. He just walks down mid. I mean, he heard all of them, right? And the deadlock utility keeps them all in place. He pops the showstopper, goes round, and 4 kills. That is one of the craziest showstoppers I have ever seen in my life. 1 short of an ace. And I mean, it's almost criminal that it doesn't get given to him in the end, but I mean, that's a morale booster if I've ever seen one going into this round now. Because now Peace and Love are gonna, you know, pick up from last round where they left off. They're gonna go up mid. Downtail's gotten a good one onto Lazy. And Lazy's been very, very proactive with those TPs, but this time will not be coming out on top. Shut down. Now a 4v5. There is some big ultimates here. Doctor has the overdrive. And Slide with the showstopper. Shinobu, though, will take Water out of the picture here. So what can Peace and Love do with this? They're all spread. So all just 1v1s should XG peek out and take those fights, but I doubt they will. Well, as I say that, Shinobu will do exactly what I said. Peeks out and gets the 1v1. The last 2 players here at mid and XG are just happy to let them come in. As, well, that's an ambitious move from Doc, just sliding in to break the trip. Clearing it with his body. But he won't be okay, I was gonna say he won't be getting anything in this round, but jumping into vents, doing criminal things with the stinger. He'll get one, but that's all it will be. As XG, well, we'll get back into a tied situation. 4-4. As, yeah, we have some space to breathe now. Following that insane moment from Dasani, which I still haven't gotten over. And he has 14 kills. That is insane. 14 kills. And it's been 8 rounds. He's almost averaging 2 per round. Like, this guy is just off the charts. Absolutely insane player. Holding XG in it. 4 players now of Peace and Love fighting in towards A main, and Spada Bang spammed one through a smoke, so, you know, that's a classic on the Atlas cast, some dishonest Valorant. This ramp fight will continue. Paint shells to hold them back. It's well placed, so they all fall back and, you know, relinquish the space just a little bit. And it's actually going to just be running away. They're not having any of this. And 4 players of XG have rotated, so this is a good call potentially. But I mean, look at the minimap. There's like, what, 4 pieces of util in B main? There's the barrier mesh, there's a sonic sensor, there's the trip, and there's a cyber cage. Yeah, so 4 pieces of utility, all stacked up from these sentinels. And of course, with now not having heard that much for a while, they're all going to be rotating over. Slide will get past everything though with the showstopper, won't connect onto anything. But the retakers are close by. Dasani, knowing that one player at least has pushed forward, he should have heard that showstopper go off. So surely hell should be cleared here. Be a rookie mistake if he doesn't. And Downtail on the flank will make first contact, but Issa more than ready for it. Lazy peeking into the smoke will end up going down, but okay, well, hell did not get cleared. Slide somehow got away with getting 2 there. And the post plant, the hold goes well for Peace and Love. They will put another one onto the board. So, yeah, I mean, it was 2 swift recovered rounds for XG, but, you know, Peace and Love, make sure things don't get too out of hand. And I mean, this is, like I said, this is an insane game. I mean, both these teams, they've had their moments of brilliance. So I have been, you know, excitedly awaiting this game all day, for the last 2 days actually. As soon as I found out, well, I mean, I casted XG's last win, and as soon as I found out that they were against Peace and Love, I was like, I want to cast that game. So here we are. Bit of a slower start here, but once again, Peace and Love happy to play like a very, you know, close-knit, packed together style. And I mean, they do have 3 duelists, so fair enough. And, I mean, some pings out in the minimap. It looks like they might be wanting to fight forward into, you know, defend a spawn, like they do. Just average doctor things. His routing on the Neon is always an interesting one, and this is the site which has no Sentinel utility. Hold that thought, though. Dasani has gotten a crazy kill onto Doctor. Does get traded by Slide. And Shinobu won't be able to do much more, so the site has fallen. Like I said, no Sentinel utility. But now the Rolling Thunder. Looks like they want to play into this fast, but fully stunned up. Spada Bang just gets shut down straight at the door. No entrance allowed. All of these players ready for this ultimate. It's all down to Yuji. A 1v2 now, but Lazy has gotten underneath him. Slipped the net. No clutch awarded this time, and I mean, maybe that's what those pings were. Maybe just aware that that Rolling Thunder was online. And a very proactive clearing of it. I mean, even though they're stunned up, right? Like, when there's 2 players in that dark cover, you're peeking into both of them. They both know you're coming, right? And there's just not really much Spada Bang can do there. Maybe a little bit unlucky that he wasn't even able to get one, but like, yeah, just kind of insane. As yeah, once again, XG in a position where they kind of have to win this round. Their economy not looking too great. As once again, in a tough spot, the call is send Dasani down mid. Doesn't have a showstopper to get 4 this time. So now the run it back. We'll be sending water on towards the B site. The trip will dispose of it. As Slide has taken a few shots to the chest. Some of this, well, most of this Sentinel utility has been cleared. Okay. This is a good start. Down to a 3v2. Lazy will get one, but now if the trade's going back and forth, somehow it's gotten down to a 2v2. So maybe just the better weapons on Peace and Love you know, coming out blazing. There is a flank here. Dasani walking down all the way through mid. So now in a 1v2. What can be done here? Downtail will be able to take first contact, but he whiffs. Lazy. Gotten it all the way down to a 1v1, and now from the shadows, he's making his way over to the A site. Knows that Dasani had flanked through mid. So he's going to ult and grab that spike. And yep, Dasani knows what's happening. So he should be running over now. The spike will go down right in the open, so up to Lazy here to choose where he wants to play. Has a lot of options, but he might just choose to stick in his own smoke. Classic from the Omens, you never know. Are they in the dark cover or are they somewhere else? He's just holding heaven. He's might just choose to swing here. He's very much exposed. But Dasani is going to go straight into him, but Lazy's holding heaven! Not the right angle. And Dasani, he will convert for his team. 5 now on the board. And XG looking to come back into this, even things out at the half. And maybe finally finding the answers for what Peace and Love are doing. And I mean, I wanted to comment on the setups that we've been seeing from XG for the most part. They're not afraid to just stack all of their Sentinel utility on one site. They're not doing it this round, but there's been a few rounds where we've seen it. And I think it's a pretty good counter to what, you know, to what Peace and Love are doing, right? With 3 duelists, there's no way they're going to go into your site without making noise. So those sonic sensors, they're going to find value, they're going to stun people up. And with the cyber cages, you're just stopping them in their place. But this round, no Sentinel utility in sight. It's just another rocket from Dasani. Won't catch on to anything this round. But I mean, with the 4K he got earlier, I think he's got kind of a whole entire half's worth of showstopper kills in just that one round. So the Valorant gods will not let him get any more. This has gone pretty good for Peace and Love. Now the Annihilation to clear out screens won't connect onto any. So the overdrive was popped by Doctor. But he's just kind of slowing down, not really chasing anything too much. And what a great grab net. We'll catch Issa running forward and Yuji will finish off. Now the Neural Theft will reveal these post-plant positions. It's just Lazy alone here, and Downtail's going hunting. He knows he's there. Lazy will be the first to fall. Now it's just Doctor and Water. They're just playing out in the open. And Downtail maybe just not ready for it. It's all down to Yuji, and they know where he is. But he's found the first. Traded by Water, though, as it's a 5 to 7 half for Peace and Love. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, now that we have some time in the pistol round, I want to go back and look at that replay. I mean, I just can't get over how crazy that play from Dasani was. I mean, they just throw a grab net, the barrier mesh, the grab net, and then pop the rock. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. I mean, all the assists as well, all of them, all those kills, all 4 of them were assisted by the Omen and the Deadlock. So what a play. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, what a great way to fill the time in this pistol round. Just looking at that rocket 4K. Sani finished that half with 18 kills to his name, so you know, pretty solid player, I'll say. Now Zhugang move to their attack. What can they do here? Looking to play a little bit of a slower style. They do this pretty often where they smoke off the male area. They're just gonna pop forward. You can see that grab net is being held. And there it is, the grab net and the aftershock. There's no way for Water to get out. And what a utility combo that is. Just completely ready for a player sitting in that smoke. What a proactive play. I love this stuff from XG. So now we wait once again to see what the reaction is. Just playing slowly. I mean, now they're just regrouping, going towards A. They know that in a 4v5, the defenders are going to be split, so just group up and let's hit a site. It's the right play to do, and they're going to be going it together. Lazy's brought all the way down to low HP, and now stunned up. Dasani's going to make his way onto the site. No one's here to wait. Everyone was just playing up on rafters and ramp. The bomb will go down, but all these retakers are here without too much trouble. Cyber Cage will let these players know that there are people pushing forward, the retakers, and the damage has been done. 2 kills going the way of Peace and Love, so that's a good way to start off the retake Doctor as well. Good headshot onto Downtail, but Dasani and Shinobu holding their ground on site. Shinobu with a second, and it's all down to Issa. He has some HP to play with, but Shinobu not having any of it. A great right click, and XG is going to start off strong, hoping to tie that scoreline up. Second pistol in the series for them. So now they go into their anti-eco round and buying right up. You can see some heavy weaponry coming out. Shinobu investing into the Phantom. Sani, Bulldog, and heavy shields. Whereas you have Yuji always just sitting on that ghost, happy to use it, happy to just pick up a rifle. And we saw in the last half, he got like, what, 2 or 3 kills with the ghost? He doesn't even need one. So, XG, once again, happy to control the map and just, you know, bleed out some of this utility from Peace and Love. Because there's not that much of it, right? It's all of it is, well, not all of it. 3 of these players are duelists, right? If they don't get kills, they're not getting any of that back. So if they can bait some of it out by playing this slower style, it makes the retakes harder and it makes the hits easier because you have less to contest with. There's no sentinels either, right? I mean, you can look at the B and the A side. You could just walk into either of them right now. There's nothing there. And of course, it is just a pistol round for Peace and Love, so possibly just looking to play grouped up. One spotted at mid, okay. No substantial damage dealt. But yeah, I mean, they're just sort of playing fairly stacked, making sure that they have a very clear strong side where these sheriffs can have a chance. And on the other side of things, just one player, just to make sure the information is relayed at an appropriate timing. As now we see another utility combo. No one's going to be on the right side of Vince though. It's just going to be lazy, tucked in on the left. So it won't connect. And I'm sure Peace and Love will take that into mind. Okay. It did. The GravNet did connect. So Yuji, hearing that little tag being taken out. Now Issa is ahead of the barrier, so he can just peek forward. Can't join the rest of his team though, so he's kind of just out in the open already. No option to retreat, has to fight forward and wait for the rest of his team. That's got to be a nerve-wracking moment for him. He's sort of just sitting here. What can he do? There's a sound sensor directly to his side as well, so he's going to destroy it. And now they know where he is, and Shinobu will quickly dispose of him. In the retake, it's not really going anywhere fast. Yuji has fallen to Doctor with the Bucky. Classic Doctor stuff, running around as Neon with the Bucky. See that pretty regularly from this team as well. Now they're just possibly looking to deal some damage, go down to the spike, and ooh, maybe one for their troubles, maybe. Yeah, okay, Downtail will fall. But nothing too much, as yeah, Doctor will fall to the spike alongside Water. Now going into their bonus, I mean, XG should probably be fine, all things considered. I mean, Yuji, of course, having only bought a Ghost, will have a rifle now. And considering the only other weapon they lost was a Spectre, I mean, they look like they're in a pretty good position, so, you know, this bonus has some bite to it. And then for, you know, the other team, we saw a few guns forced up, mainly just Doctor forcing up to that Bucky. Now the consequence of that is that they're going to have a Stinger. But that's okay. The Stinger can deal some damage. It's a broken weapon. So, well, okay, okay, just some Valorant moments here is... Okay. Lots of Valorant moments. You have a spam kill, and then Dasani just sits in the nade. So, yes. Honest, good Valorant we're seeing right here. This is one of the rounds of all time. Well, the bomb will eventually go down on B without much trouble. Plenty of players here in mid. So they start the retake. Slide a little bit ahead of the team. So unlucky there. Okay, now this is going the way of XG. Now in a 2v1. All down to Lazy. But that was the player with the Stinger, and Yuji now having upgraded to that Vandal. That's a bonus round converted for XG. And I mean, okay, look at the scoreboard. It's time for another Dasani update. He's 21-9. His kill-death ratio is over 2. And, yeah. I mean, what else do you even say about that, right? Like, that's insane. How is he so good? And I was saying at the start of the match, right? Like, in this game, we gotta be looking at Dasani, we gotta be looking at Doctor, and we gotta be looking at Water. Doctor's doing, you know, okay. Water, maybe a little bit underwhelming, but doing his job. But Dasani, this is a Dasani that has come to play today. So now we go into, I think this is pretty much just an eco round, considering that the bonus was won by XG. Can hear the first martial shot, and players of XG over towards B main, maybe just gonna fall back a little bit, fall back and wait. So, okay, one's been spotted, and that's in the prime position to be done with the util combo. Just a fault line this time, and, well, Reslide will escape with his life. But the space in mid, it's being cut off, the info denied. So, Peace and Love just, they don't know if anyone's pushed all the way up. There could be someone just sort of sitting in that close left corner, unbeknownst to Peace and Love. A good pace being shown by XG is now they put the foot down and they're going to be possibly looking to fight into this, and another Sparta back. You can't keep getting away with this. This is like the third spam kill you've gotten. Downtail drops for Slide is, well, Doctor with the paranoia in his face, not much he can do. Water's going to be flashing out of the smoke, and okay, Shinobu will, you know, end up suffering because of it. Caught in his own teammate's sonic sensor, but all good. Dasani's just going to get some kills, as UG will finish up. Pretty good round. Of course, it is just eco-fragging at the end of the day. Some shenanigans going on towards screens, but nothing too much. And XG, looking strong. 4 rounds in a row now on their attacker side. It almost makes you wonder, right? Like, why didn't XG pick attack first? They chose to start on their defender side. And like I was saying, like, XG, I've seen that this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen their attacker side on split. It's very good. They've clearly got a good plan. I do like to say whenever you're seeing any agent like Deadlock, which is a more unconventional pick, you better hope that they have a good plan, right? Otherwise, they'll be kind of looking like idiots. They're looking like absolute gold so far. Okay, I was wondering, why did that flash give some information? It didn't connect onto UG. He dodged it. Caught onto his teammate.
Camera taken out.
So, all well and good. But, I mean, I do wonder, was that flash really worth it? I mean, XG have been playing so slowly, right? You kind of expect them to have walked up like this. Now flash reclear, and UG, I don't think he was intentionally playing anti-flash, but he had his back to Water, and Water will collect off of the back of it. So now once again, this mid space. XG have put a heavy emphasis on this in their attack half so far. Claimed all of the space. As now the dog is going to try and clear vents, but I don't know if that saw anything. I don't think it did. Doesn't look like there's too much of a reaction going on just yet. As now Downtail and Dasani just slowly creeping forward, and Issa and C just potentially scared, like they don't have any control in ramps, and now they should start to know that barrier mesh coming out will cut off the rotators. As now they're fighting onto the site. They haven't cleared Reslide though, and that'll stop the spike going down. As Reslide collects another one, it's all down to Sparta Bang. A 1v5, 11 seconds left. He's not going to get too much done here. He will get a little consolation prize, but that'll probably be all it is. As, yep, where on earth did Doctor throw that stun from? That relay bolt going all the way deep into rafters, catching on, and giving Reslide a pretty easy kill. But yeah, now a good recovery. I mean, they have a little bit more to do. The score is still close, 9-8. Everyone's got, oh my gosh, everyone got guns. The economy looking, I mean, pretty decent for both teams actually. There's some players that are low, but other players that have plenty for both teams. So I believe no matter which way this round goes, they'll both be looking more or less okay. So pretty good so far. Yeah, once again, this flash invested to see if any of this presence being shown towards A has players behind it. I believe that has turned a positive result every time it's been invested. Like I said, maybe you start to wonder if that should be invested a little bit later. But all good. You know, can't question them too much. They're the pro players, not me. There's a reason for it. And we can see the minimap. So, slight advantage for us armchair analysts is now Dasani just going forward, popping the showstopper, looking for any players here on Rafters. There's no one close. And two of the other players of XG have found kills. And Yuji lurking on the other side of the map has gotten the neural theft off, so now positions known for peace and love. And Yuji lurking all the way forward, catches the late rotate. Really well played from the Cypher. That's what you want to be seeing from them, is Doctor now sliding in, starting the retake off hot. Because yeah, he will take down Shinobu on the site. Issa as well, bringing this down to a 2v2. These players are low now. Doctor only 12 HP to his name, and a 1v2. And the side of XG has pretty good post-plant positions. Bomb planted for them, and yeah, this angle is being watched. Doctor will not be allowed to get any sort of clutches going. It's a good attempt at the retake, but yeah, just not really working out in the end. We go on to round 19, and Peace and Love have all of their ults up. So you can see Doctor, I think I know what he might want to do. I think he might want to use the laser fingers by the fact that he's not buying a gun. So a good economic play there.
Let's make him dance.
But are Peace and Love just going to do something aggressive off the rip, or are they going to wait? Okay, interesting. Might just be waiting here, so still going to be silence. Once again, at the start of this round, Slide ahead of the cyber cage, knows that no one's directly behind it, but I mean, these players can still easily take the space, and now the Trailblazer doesn't see anything, so yeah, maybe some false information there, because there is 3 players. 2 towards the other side of the map, and they're so happy to just sit and wait, man. Like, I mean, the bomb's down and no one's even watching it, right? I mean, if someone had been walking down mid right now, they could just potentially come across the bomb sitting in that small little area at the bottom of mid. Is he taking some jump peeks? We'll figure out that, well, someone's gotten the orb. Sound cue would tell you that. Now the Annihilation catches on, and okay, look at the defenders. They're all looking to try and take this one back. And I mean, they will get him out of the cocoon, but, Downtail will still get the kill. And now the overdrive's been popped, and all these players from XG, they're going over to the A site. But Peace and Love are making this read. A good reaction here as Yuji will find the first onto Issa. But fortunately for them, Doctor's ult has run out. But he still has a gun in his hand, and that's another dink. Unfortunate that it's not a kill. Now what can Water do? There's the first. Now peeking around. He spots a second. Pulls out the sidearm, and the right clicks. No way you get 2 off of that. He eventually does get taken down, and Downtail in the 1v2. Okay. I feel like that should have gone the way of XG. It does in the end. Water pulling off some criminal actions with the classic. I mean, he got the first with the Vandal. Fair enough. Fair play. You hit the head. But then the right clicks from the classic. I mean, the first, okay, but the second, with the last bullets left, thank goodness Downtail ended up winning that one. Otherwise, the dishonest Valorant allegations would continue on in this game. Now 11-8. Dasani's slowed down a little bit. Haven't seen him get as many kills as he was before. It's all good though, because the team is stepping up, especially Yuji, right? He's had so many great lurking moments on that Cypher. And XG clearly just has a great understanding on how they want to play this map of Split. Bit of a home map for them for a reason. Going into the next map of Ascent, I'm sure they would be happy to pick this up. So yeah, you don't see too much to begin with. It always is the same song of silence at the start of these rounds. And I always wonder in my head, when you have 3 duelists, I mean, I almost wonder why they're not playing a little bit more proactively. They're playing so far back here. Now B-Hit should be coming in. Dasani's going to be flying forward, not seeing anyone on the entry, but Lazy's playing around the pillar. And Dasani's found the first, but Water pulling out the run it back will secure the trade. And Spartabang has gotten another one through spamming, although I think he might have seen like a barrel or something, so that one can be forgiven. Yuji now on the lurk, up through mid, another neural theft. This is like the 3rd or 4th he's had so far this half. And Slide should be revealed. Yuji should be converting on this. Yep, there we go. That's just a gun diff right there, and good satchel play, but won't end up converting off of it. It's just a sheriff after all, and Yuji has been very crisp. Leaving Water now in this 1v4. He'd have to get all 5 in the round, but so much utility. So hard to get into the site when you have those sonic sensors and all that util coming your way. Stunned up by every which mean. So now XG get up to match point. They've only lost 1 round on this attacker side. This has been absolute dominance since the half swapped. Insane stuff. So now we wait. Once again, because it'll be a little while till anything happens, I imagine. So let's talk about Duelists again. I mean, Doctor's got 19 kills, so he's catching up to Dasani slowly. The rest of his team maybe just unable to find that impact that this entire side of XG has been finding. Now Doctor going exploring. Okay, that's a good start. Kicks in the high gear and gets out of there. Downtail's secured a trade. Slide maybe a little bit too active to push forward when his teammates were retreating back, unable to trade him. Good 1-for-1. It's the first time that I believe Peace and Love have gotten a first kill for a while now. You can see now XG just happy to claim the space. Popping the Annihilation. Where's that going to be sent? Into screens. Won't catch on to anyone, and Lazy will actually be able to beam down the Omen just with the Stinger. Now Paranoia potentially going to be sent out to start off the retake. They have a numbers advantage for once. And lots of targets here that won't connect as now the Grav Net. Dasani's found 2.
Last player standing.
Now down 1 to a 1v2. There's nothing that he can do. XG will pick up this first map of split, 13-8. It is the pick of it was the pick of Peace and Love, but XG will close it out. And a dominant attack side shown with that deadlock utility. And yeah. Really good stuff being shown. And I mean Dasani finishing things off. 25-15. Doctor 20-17. So also pretty good stuff from the duelist of Peace and Love. Although I say that, and Peace and Love is a team with 3 duelists. So just the neon one trick of Doctor putting up numbers. So yeah, we'll go to a short break now. I'll leave you guys with the little montage that I put together of these 2 teams. And yeah, we'll be back soon onto Ascent, which is XG's map pick. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. We're gonna be slowly creeping out. Dasani here should be making first contact as the wall drops. Snaps onto Regen and another beautiful shot. Catching onto Cats. The 3rd one in the round. 2 players, both of these are low. Both would fall to 1 bullet as Water takes them down. 2 body shots, 2 kills. If they choose to contact into him, this could be dangerous, but Doctor's looking the wrong way. Finally turns at just the right moment, takes down August. Now sliding out through the screens with the Stinger. The run and gun action, like I said. Look to the side, Shinobu's been taken down, overwhelmed by the utility from Zupa. Downtail though, 2 wonderful shots and a 3rd. Taken down, massive effort on the site by Downtail. Opting to go for the information for the Owl Drone instead, but Dasani, 2 crisp shots from the flank. Will convert the round for Zoogang, and it will be 6-6 at the half. Immediately popping the run back, and they're going straight through. And Water should see this. The first found, a second, the spray transfer, peeking around the corner and finding a 3rd. Water finding a ton of value off of the ultimate. Jin's been waiting here, extremely patient, now starting to move, and the timing is bad for him, as Yuji does manage to take him down, peeking forward with the util in hand. If you go for a little bit more, this is still a 2v4, so not favored, but actually just ahead of the team, and now the showstopper for Dasani is going to be chasing them back, won't connect, but now a 2v3. This is a more winnable situation than a 2v5. Also doesn't change that that's where it came from. Rossi over the top, Dasani plucks him out of the sky. Now position known, the grab net comes out, but it connects onto herself. Oh no. A little bit of a whiff from Dynasty, and it's 1v2, but they connect! How on earth have they done that? The spray transfer, Snappy with the Dynasty wins the 1v2. Absolutely insane stuff after the absolute whiffing of that deadlock utility. Should hear the player rotating in from mid, and that should be a free kill. Rossi the first to fall. And now UG peeking forward, finds a second off the stun and a third. Really well played from UG. You just creeped all the way forward, heard the players, and they were just completely unaware. Second shot, the third, extremely clean. Brutal crossfire to get through. Spada bang. I think he was spotted. The knife might come out. 75 damage, but he comes back in. No way. Sure, he's hungry for that ace. Haven't seen any just yet today, but I mean, he's peeking out. He gets 4, and he gets the ace. Dasani. Wary that there could be someone close. The Nightfall's going to be invested, as well as potentially this lockdown. Doesn't connect on 20, but they didn't realize that Dasani was in the corner. He takes down 3. Dasani is taking his team over the line. Your winners for today will be XG. Hello and welcome back to Valorant Challenges Oceania. My name is Atlas and I'm your caster for today. And we're back with XG versus Peace and Love. XG has just come off the back of winning split 13-8, pretty dominant on their attacker side, and now we're going into their map pick of Ascent. So we should be seeing some interesting stuff come out, see what these teams have to show. As, well, kind of to be expected from the side of Peace and Love, that we're going to be seeing a Neon and Phoenix comp. We're Slide though, not going to be playing the Rays. I think they realize that their triple duelist shenanigans might not be working on Ascent, whereas on the other side of things, XG playing a more conventional comp, just swapping out the Killjoy for the Cypher, and fair enough, UG has shown to be very proficient at that role, so all well and good there as we get into the game. See what these teams can do. As, yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see this go to a map 3, right? I mean, Peace and Love, that was their map pick. Things didn't quite go their way. They really weren't able to figure out XG's attack aside. I mean, honestly, it was just so very well played from XG. That's one to study. Yeah, I mean, I want to see Doctor and Water, both of them heat up a little bit more. Doctor was playing pretty well, but just Dasani kind of coming out on top as far as those, you know, duelist differentials go. But yeah, maybe Water leaving a little bit to be desired. Now going into the pistol round, Dasani on the Jet. I don't think I've actually seen him play that role yet. Of course, it makes sense. I've normally just seen him on the Rays, since there is I mean, this is a pretty Raze-dominated map pool. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of flashy plays he can pull off on the jet, as here he goes onto the A site, gonna shut that door, and, well, no one's going exploring into the smoke just yet, as Slide will be the first to wait here, breaking that door, and, well, now for the post plan, a great flash. We'll give Dasani one. Slide's gotten one with the shock down, but Downtail's gotten a shock bolt kill directly in response, so, that's not one you see every day, with 2 shock dart kills coming across. Yuji's found one as well, and XG will mop up the pistol. A lot happened at once there, so we didn't see all of it, but somewhere in the mix, both Sovas getting theirs with shock bolts. So, yeah, if that's not a tell for how things have been going, and how things, I assume, will be going, I don't know what is. So, yeah, should be some pretty crazy stuff going on in this game that is still yet to occur. And like I said, when you're playing up against a team like Peace and Love, who just love playing Phoenix and Neon, it's kind of to be expected. And I honestly can't wait to see them moving forward, right, going into the group stages, and for the rest of this tournament, should they move on. They'd have to pull off the reverse sweep in this best of 3. But they're at least locked in to play in the group stages of Split 2, so I can't wait to see them against, you know, other calibers of team within our region. That being said, though, XG has proven to be a pretty tough opponent.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, okay, Doctor just jumping the rope. That's maybe a little bit of whiffed utility from XG. So now that flank can come their way. I don't know how much that will affect things in this round, though, as the hit is going to come towards the A site. Plant will go down. The door gets closed. And, okay, water gets caught out in the open right as that dark cover fades. Now, Doctor, I don't think you can get over this one, so this flank should be revealed eventually. Dasani's gotten another one. A ton of assists onto that as well. I do wonder what happened there. Well, this is probably not going to be an eco round. That's going to be going the way of Peace and Love. But as I say that, Lazy has gotten one. But okay, Downtail just continuing from last game.
Player standing.
It's a second. Yep, pretty well cleaned up. Although, with that being said, they did lose 3, so some damage has been dealt. They will carry the Vandal and Guardian into this round. And Yuji, of course, will be buying up the Vandal. And for the other players, just Sheriffs, but, I mean, that's a fairly competitive buy. They can definitely do some damage with it, and on the other side of things, it's all light shields across the board, so even those Sheriffs should be able to kill at long range. So XG definitely looking to come into things strong once again. They've shown to be very proficient on attacking when it came to Split. Let's see what they can do here as, well, Dasani's just dashing forward into main, but water plucks him out of the sky as, well, now the hit comes in, and there's not really any util behind this. Doctor's gotten 2, sitting on top of the box. Spada Bang, he just gets 1. Just a measly trade at the end of the day. 4v1 now for Yuji. Well, it was a disorganized hit. Players dashing forward, TPing in, and just sort of running out of that smoke without really anything behind it. So yeah, maybe a bit of a blunder there is... I mean, Yuji might honestly just decide to save. Or he could just sit here and play for some exits. Of course, this is just a bonus, so all the players of XG should be just fine to get buys next round. So, yeah, I mean... we kind of just have 40 seconds here, and, well, fortunately, Water's gonna finish that off, finish the round up for us. You can show that it gets closed out without too much left going on. No further damage being dealt to the side of Peace and Love. Next G now, rifles across the board. I feel like I hyped up their bonus round. I was like, they've got Vandals, they've got Sheriffs, and then it kind of just fell flat on its face, so a little bit unlucky there. So now that everyone's got guns, well, as I say that, Doctor's already gotten the overdrive, so he doesn't have a gun. So, laser fingers it will be. And it will be a kill or go back down to the classic. see what Doctor can do. Stellar Neon player. Bit of a one trick. It's just going to be a little bit of A main aggression there. So that space is being well and truly gained by Peace and Love. They should know that there is no players from XG going towards A. And they'd be right. Everyone here posed and ready for this B split. But 3 players of Peace and Love are ready for this. But the breaks have kind of been called here. It's just Asani walking forward. Issa will take him down. Yuji's gotten one. So now definitely options and time to play with if you're XG. Don't have to commit to that B site. That was the second player, and you can probably assume that there might have been a third. So now the neural theft comes out, and that'll reveal that there is only just these 2 players towards the A site. It should be pretty easy for Downtail to get something out of this ult. Heads up play from Water to pop the runner back. He might even get a kill out of it as well. Maybe not. So the Hunter's Fury nullified. Good heads up play from Water, and now the curveball, it's well placed. But he's kind of stuck here now. The hot hands will keep him safe and make sure that no one from XG makes their way back into main. Everyone's forced to play on site, and that allows Doctor some space to go forward and fight. Now Downtail stuck between 2 targets, can't choose which to look at. Really well played from Water there, just to stay alive in that main area. The worst nightmare of a team that's just coming in from mid is the player that snuck into A main. And really, really good stuff. All the util placed, finding its value. They'll run it back to keep him alive from the Sova ult. And then the hot hands to make sure no one pushes him, and the curveballs all connect. And then everyone's focused on trying to deal with him, and that allows Doctor to just go farming. So really well played to begin with. And a good reply after the pistol round. XG have won every single pistol round so far. They're 3 for 3. It's now very heavy stack on mid from Peace and Love. Definitely a very interesting defensive strategy here. They are just against an eco. So maybe just expecting that there might be some sort of death ball coming their way through mid. It's actually very, very spread from XG. Not really choosing to commit to anything, and it's just like Split, right? Where they slowly go forward and take map control. You can see Yuji has got a lot of space here in B main. But just a contact reclear by Water will result in a kill. Shinobu's found himself all of A here though. So now the hit just slowly creeping forward through mid, but yeah, once again, Peace and Love just have completely read this. Just off of that reclear of B main, they know that everyone else is going towards A. They would be right. Now the bomb, it's not even going to go down just yet. Some good shots by Dasani, but no kills rewarded as now Doctor sliding in. Will end up picking him up. Shinobu and Sparta Bang though, just with the sheriffs. How have they done this? Down to the 1v1 though, and Lazy wins the clutch. The 1v2 is just against sheriffs. And great work from XG to even make that one close. I mean, just in an instant, it went from being pretty even numbers, and I thought that Peace and Love had the read, and then just in a matter of seconds, went down to XG suddenly having an advantage, and then a clutch. So definitely an interesting one. So yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna say for once, it looks like XG who are now at a disadvantage to begin with, but it was how Split started. XG won the pistol, and then it was Peace and Love who got 4 in a row. Potentially on track to do the same. Although now with the sides swapped, I mean, you have to wonder what XG's defense looks like. Completely different map though, so things will be playing very differently. And once again, Water has picked up Yuji. No flank's going to be going around in this round. No funny business from the Cypher. It's just another very slow round, but once again, XG just going into the stack, and Doctor now popping the overdrive. Good relay bolt. That's going to leave Spider-Man completely stunned and with no options. A quick 180 flick from Doctor. 3 on the round, picking up a Vandal. As he's going hunting, he wants some kills. What a flashy play that was. And now around the back, won't get a 4th. Lazy will steal it from him. But a flawless round. It is just against an eco, but, you know, you got to invest those ults at some point. So let's have a look at what Doctor did there. First with the Stinger, and then just pulls out the overdrive, slides in, and then oh my gosh, so smooth. That is the Neon mastery that we expect to see from, well, a Neon one trick. If they didn't master the agent, I don't know what they're doing. And you can see that this time, Doctor is having a really hot start, 10 and 4 to start things off. On the other side of things, Dasani just unable to carry forward that performance from map 1 just yet. He's been thrown towards the A site with the Blade Storms, and, well, looks like Peace and Love might be biting onto this. You can see that some of these players considering a rotation, but now that the players towards A haven't heard anything, I guess they're just making the read that this is going towards the B site, and the From the Shadows stuck will get taken down. But the Blade Storms and Sheriff are finding their mark, so somehow, someway, XG have found themselves with some form of a chance. They're making a good read here to potentially go towards the A side as well, but okay, maybe not. Just re-clearing mid, walking up towards market. And both of these sites do have players on them. One of them substantially more than the other, as it might be going towards A through spawn. That might be the call. And it'll be an interesting one as Doc just tucked himself away down here in hell. Should hear these players coming, the glass being broken, so now a lot of stuff to worry with, and see if he gets cleared. Yuji will be the first to fall. A third now for Doctor on the round. The Hunter's Fury invested 2. A lot against Nico, and 4 for Doctor. Yep, not too much going into it. Not too much coming out for XG. They do have rifles now, so I mean, they've dealt with a few of these tricky ultimates, right? That's the run it back, that's the overdrive, and that's the Hunter's Fury, all gone. But at some point, you gotta start winning rounds, right? You can look at those little mini victories where it's like, okay, they used an ultimate, we've got guns now. But eventually, you gotta start getting those rounds out. And now that Spartabang has the null command, we might just be expecting a fast A hit, and for once, it seems like they've found the right site, is now the null command comes out. If this is a fast A hit, it is the right call. No players on site. Yuji's found one at mid as well, so this is about as good as you could hope things to go for XG. Down 3 rounds to finally start getting back into things. This is what you want to see. A fragment to hold these retakers back is Dasani thinking twice about playing in heaven. Slide's gotten Spartabang. So now Dasani on top of the generator, just spraying. Doctor throwing his crosshair off, traded by water. Great distraction. The Neon flying in. Now the retake comes out, the Blaze Wall, just to block that line of sight. Yuji, though, peeking around generator, has found one, and now the bomb's being stuck. They're not even considering it, but at the last second, water pops off as the Blaze goes down. And XG will come out on top. I thought we were going to see another stick defuse. Haven't seen any this series just yet, but we saw a few the other day. So, that would have been quite the round for water to steal already if he had chosen to just stay on that defuse, which, I mean, honestly, it might have even worked. Yuji was kind of the only player who was on site who had that direct line of sight. And he wasn't actually looking towards the bomb at all. He was looking towards that door, I think. But no matter, that's not how the round went. Water chose to fight and did get one, but not much more than that. So now, once again, just early mid-control. Actually quite fast they're fighting for this. They're going all the way up. They've broken the alarm bot. So Doctor should hear a lot of this going on. But this will be a pretty fast B-split unless Water has anything to say about it. That flash reclair is so good. Sunny has gotten one for himself though. The only player still left here at mid, kind of stuck on an island, surrounded by everyone. Yuji has snuck all the way through A though. Slippery player always managing to get away with this, but Spartabang hasn't cleared Doctor, and well, he should know that Dasani's behind him, but Doctor now, okay, getting killed. Dasani was completely stunned up there, so just the crosshair placement carrying him through. Now this is a 2v2 that's definitely winnable. The plant spot gets reconsidered. Water just wants to fight through this, going straight through the cyber cage. No respect shown at all. As Yuji's fallen and Water is collected Dasani. Water, this is the Water that we wanted to see. Heating up, almost to boiling point you might say. It's really showing a much better Phoenix here. See, every single reclear he does, whether it's with the flash or even just picking the timing, always seems to work out. And it's always at pivotal moments too, right? Like, I mean, there's been a few rounds where he's just swung out B, either with a flash or, like I said, just picking the timing. He always seems to get one. Gets the kill as well, and then just off of that information, then the rest of the team rotates to the other side, and they're almost always correct. The other side of things, I mean, Dasani's doing okay, 7 and 7. Struggling a little bit, and when you compare it to Doctor and Water, definitely not nearly the same value from the duelist. It's probably being diffed 3 to 1 when you combine the two on the other side. That's too much mental math for one day, though. I just want to watch the Valorant as Dasani has finally gotten one on the entry. Lazy will be the first to fall, and Yuji, he's fallen first quite a few times, actually. Just maybe not quite getting as much value off of the Cypher as he was on Split. Maybe the avenue is just a little bit more obvious on where he might be lurking. 2 players of XG here are quite low though, so you see those shock darts, both of them invested, just trying to finish them off. None connecting though, and so now that's gone from the round. Yuji's gotten all of this B main space, and well, he was on low HP, so a quick peek out from Issa will end up removing him from the round as Dasani is the second to challenge. Dart cover in Issa's face though. Won't give him any kills, any line of sight, any chance really, without spamming through and revealing his position.
30 seconds left.
Now the spike gets planted, and now the retake is all coming from Defender spawn here. So that paranoia is going to connect onto pretty much all of them. But Water here with the run it back. He's going to be leading the charge, but Downtail quick to shut it down before it gets too far. But off of the back of that run it back, a lot of these players have managed to work their way forward, leaving it all down to Shinobu in a 1v3. Got the first, got the second now as well, but Water not letting it getting down to a round win for XG. Always managing to pull out these kills in the last few seconds, and I mean XG, they've had a few chances to clutch up now, but yeah, just unable to fully convert. So yeah, Doctor and Water really showing a dominant performance so far on Ascent. And I mean, this is looking good if you are a fan of Peace and Love, right? After they lost map 1, they now have a pretty clear advantage on Ascent. A chance to win it and potentially bring us over to a third map. I believe it would be Lotus that we would be going to.
Get out of my way.
So for now, just a few more rounds left, 2.5. So XG, I imagine they'd want to bring things up to a 7-5 if they can, but at worst they're looking down the barrel of, oh my god, okay. That flash connecting onto pretty much all of them. Dasani's pulled out the blades. Finds value as well. And what I was going to say was that at worst, if you know, Peace and Love keep on getting away with things, that this would be a 9-3, but XG, okay. You get the trade at least, down to a 2v2. Definitely a chance. Now from the shadows into the boathouse. We'll get that spike down ASAP. And Peace and Love will have to clear out main. The overdrive invested though, and he's going to be going in fast. And now Spider-Bang position revealed, and he will fall. So now it's all down to Shinobu once again. Couldn't do it last round. It was a 1v3, so he'd have to win this, and there's the first. The overdrive taken out of the round. Doctor not going to be adding any more kills to his stat list. It's now just the Omen 1v1 teleporting back towards Boathouse, and Lazy almost had a chance to spot him, but doesn't quite. He's worked his way all the way forward past Shinobu, and Shinobu hears the drop, and Shinobu secures the 1v2. Finally a clutch going the way of XG. Bring things up to 7-4. Just one more round left in this half. And XG, I mean, there's a good round there. Coming down to the clutch once again, but if they could put one more up, then it'll be a good recovery because on the attacking side of things, well, you're up against a Phoenix and a Neon, so it'll be an intense one if nothing else. As the barriers drop and... oh, XG, Dasani's found an opener. Quickly traded by Issa though, just the double face from the defense going for ending up in a 1v1. 1v1? 1-4-1. It was a 2 versus 2 that ended in a 1-for-1. Getting my words mixed up. So yeah, it's yeah, once again, slow start from XG. Shinobu just making sure no one's pushing out of A. Maybe a smart move, all things considered, since XG just, you know, they love having that map control and maybe just let go of it a few times. There's been a few flanks, which they might have picked up on. Of course, this is the last round of the half, and now the null command is popped, and that's going towards the B site, but no smoke to block the line of sight, and that'll take down Downtail. An unlucky one there, maybe could have waited just a second longer, and that kill might not have gone across, but it does. Now Yuji's sort of just waiting patiently outside this dark cover. As it drops, he gets one, and he slips the net, just creeps forward into the defender spawn. Is, well, it's a good move since so many players have come out through mid. As XG are looking to make this one go their way, Shinobu will end up finishing for them. Finally, a convincing round from Zhugang brings the half up to 7-5. So yeah, I mean, a good recovery in the final hours of the half to bring it back to a, I mean, quite frankly, winnable situation. And I believe the last map as well started with a 7-5 as well. So XG showing a lot of resilience here. And if things keep going their way in the pistols, as they so often have, wouldn't be surprised if we see things get back up to 7-7. And then where it goes from there is anyone's guess. It'll be interesting to see what Peace and Love will do. Like I said, the double duelist, I expect them to go fast. Water is kind of left out here on his own though, and the proactivity from XG will reward them with a kill. Now the rest of these players are coming in towards the B site and spamming with the ghost. Yuji's not going to be able to find anything, and Downtail overwhelmed by Doctor. What can he do? It's down to a 4v2, and Dasani's got to slide. And these other players are low. Doctor will be the first to fall. And Lazy, there's nothing that he can do. And like I said, XG's pistols have been unbelievable. They just keep putting them up on the board. And so, yep, now we go into another second round where XG are going to be the ones bringing in the weaponry. Lots of guns being brought up here. Lots of stuff to go into it. I mean, Doctor, he's still putting up numbers, man. I mean, he's almost matched Dasani's performance in the first half of Split. I believe at the end of it, Dasani had 18 kills. So, I mean, it's close, but maybe he has to do a little bit more. Now on defense, Dasani can just hold these long angles with the sniper rifle. He'll get the first blood, is now overwhelmed by lots more players. A second shot rings out, Dasani converts. Doctor, though, having forced up the stinger, will get a trade with slide as well. And now Doctor is chasing down Dasani, who can't hold his ground. And maybe for once we will be seeing a second round that doesn't go the way of XG. As they creep forward, what can they do here? It's all down to the 2v3, and some of these weapons have been picked up. Doctor, of course, still has his stinger. Yuji holding the flank. Sheriff is going to be favored, but Doctor, with that stinger, will end up trading out Lazy, and in a 2v2, I mean, Doctor might go down to one bullet from that Sheriff, but the time is ticking, and, well, possibly not much left to do. As the bomb starts going down, yeah, there's no time in this. XG just have to really resign this round. It will go the way
Revealing area.
of peace and love. I also just have realized that I have had my Discord notifications on the whole time, so I apologize if those have gone through. I will be turning on streamer mode now so that they stop going through. I am so sorry if those did. Okay, yep, someone has just messaged me saying that they have in fact been going through. I am so sorry, everyone. My bad.
Bot coming
Anyways,
out of charges.
that's a big one for Peace and Love to win, right? I mean, they've been unable to convert the pistols, so finally being able to get a second round is going to give them a good foothold in this, as Lazy on this angle that Shinobu was holding gets a first, but it will be Shinobu himself who ends up trading out. The hit's going to be going towards the B site, and this is where Downtail has a judge, and he's gotten two. A third, maybe? No, Issa will take him down. Lots of damage dealt, though. Only 14 HP left. In a different world where the bullets decide to hit slightly differently, it might have been 3 for Downtail there. Bit of a crazy play to pull out. And this has left us in a winnable position. It's a 2v3 retake where Issa has no health at all, as Doctor, feeling the pressure, decides to pop the overdrive. But they should know where he is, right? I mean, he has to run if he wants to get anything out of this, as he's going to be playing in the smoke, and the clock on that overdrive is going down, and it's all suddenly down to him. He gets the first, so that'll refresh it, and he peeks out, and he gets both. The 1v2 clutch for Doctor.
Not.
The overdrive winning out in the end. I questioned the decision, but never questioned the Neon 1 trick, apparently. As yeah, he just sort of sat in the smoke. I mean, it's good that his teammate got one, left in a position that it was winnable for Doctor. As yeah, just at the last moment before it's about to expire, he manages to peek out and get one for himself. So now Doctor up to 22 kills, 22 and 11, so looking very similar to Dasani's performance from Split. That dominant performance from the duelists. The storyline that I keep on talking about, because, I mean, it's kind of just how these teams have been built, right? I mean, both of them have insanely talented duelists. Doctor and Water on Peace and Love, whereas Dasani is always a very much hard carry almost for Azugang, sorry. So yeah, I mean, now as we go into this round, XG are going to be happy that they, I mean, at least made some sort of impact on that eco round. But they got to start getting rounds, like I said, if they want any chance at bringing this back. This is Ascent where things tend to lean defender-sided. But when you're up against that Phoenix and Neon, and if Doctor's getting as much value as he has been, wouldn't be surprised if things start changing, as now the speed is going to be turned up a little bit, the hit's going to come. Spada Bang just continues his reign of spamming through smokes, and he gets another one, of course. At least Doctor on site, though, has picked up two. A good entry. The spike now going to be planted in this 4v3 post plant. Some of these players are quite low, so definitely chances for XG. Yuji tanking a little bit of damage there. Fortunately, he still has some health remaining as a flash pops over the top. Spada Bang left in a 1v3 now. Picked up the first, but Water will keep the run of rounds going for Peace and Love.
Buy stuff, ka-ching, little skrrr, then we're done. Yeah?
So, yep, not too much of a response from XG just yet. Some of these rounds are getting close, but nothing really dominant shown just yet. Seems that Peace and Love have a good foothold in this half, and just in general in this map. I mean, they're making their comp work for them. It's one that they're familiar with. Keep saying it, that, you know, the Neon Phoenix is their bread and butter. Now a little bit of a flash and dash down mid as Dasani has plenty of targets, only connects onto one. And Shinobu trying to fill up that space. Fortunately isn't going to get too much, as Doctor and Water quickly chase down the site, remove all of the defenders. And Hunter's Fury was invested there, but just Peace and Love too fast, running directly past it. And now the retake coming in, and Peace and Love, they just want to fight forward. Doctor just padding those stats. Putting up numbers here. And this might even look like end up being a better performance than what we saw from Dasani. I mean, he's 28 and 12. He's getting close to that, like, 30 kill mark, whereas 3 other members on his team haven't even got to 10 yet. So it's insane. I mean, it's... He's doing really, really good stuff for his team. So on the other side of things, I mean, Dasani's still topping the scoreboard for Zhugang, but just maybe not quite able to do enough, and the rest of his team not quite finding the value that they were on split. Dasani wanting to fight here, though. There's 2 players, and the drone will re-clear the space, but it actually ends up in a turret kill for Issa. Okay, and Reslide's gotten one onto Downtail, so probably aren't going to be seeing too much in this round as, well, Spartabang has managed to lurk forward through mid. Pulling out the run it back as he's very much cornered now. Flash drive just to keep him alive for a little bit longer. He's managed to get 3. How has he done that? I mean, the first, fair enough. You don't expect the KO pushing down mid, but then to have your position known and still get away with 3 is pretty crazy. That leaves Shinobu in a 1v2. He's done it before.
Cover going out.
But now is left with a 50-50 guess. The attack is going towards A or B. Looks like he might have guessed correctly. As Issa and Water are running towards the site. They're not being quiet about it either. So Shinobu, okay, he stays alive. Timing in his favor. Now we should hear them. Now he should have a chance. He is being watched, but Issa has utility out. But that will reveal Shinobu's position. The paranoia will give him a chance here. TPing on top of the generator, but Issa's ready for it. 4 kills on the round, bailing Peace and Love out of it. I mean, yeah, just... it's always coming down to the hero plays for XG. Like I said, nothing really convincing shown from them. And all the chances they've had have been 1v1s that just unfortunately haven't gone their way. So now up to match point. Looks like Peace and Love, they want to take us to a map 3. And XG, I mean, this is their map pick. Though it's with a little bit of an asterisk on it. Normally they like to pick into split, but Peace and Love picked it before they could. So one here on Ascent, they chose to go into this. Maybe you wonder why they did. We haven't really seen too much from them just yet. Downtail with some nice shots as, well, the slide will break his crosshair placement. And now Doctor with the overdrive is going in once again. Lops off the head of Yuji and Shinobu. And now looking for that last target. He has been spotted. But just showing the discipline, not going for the kill. Just going to play the percentage play in this 1v3 to win this map. To just go and plant the bomb. So good restraint being shown by Doctor. You don't need those kills. You've got enough of them. I believe he just broke 30. So he's just going to play to win the round, and with Spartabang's position known, the flash drive around won't give anything to him as Reslide. The pre-fire will bring Peace and Love over the end and bring us to a map 3 of Lotus that will be coming soon. It's definitely been an interesting one, a very slow-paced game from both teams. As, yeah, like I said, Doctor really starting to heat up. Same with Water. So now we're going into the 3rd and final map of the series, the decider of Lotus. Which team will come out on top? We'll find out after a short break. As, yeah, afterwards, I hope you will all be back with us. It's been an interesting night of Valorant so far, and I think things are just going to get even more interesting. Slowly creeping out. Dasani here should be making first contact as the wall drops. Snaps onto Regen and another beautiful shot. Catching onto Cats. The 3rd one in the round. 2 players, both of these are low. Both would fall to 1 bullet as Water takes them down. 2 body shots, 2 kills. They choose to contact into him. This could be dangerous, but Doctor's looking the wrong way. Finally turns at just the right moment, takes down August. Now sliding out through the screens with the stinger. The run and gun action, like I said. Look to the side, Shinobu's been taken down, overwhelmed by the utility from Zupa. Downtail though, 2 wonderful shots in a 3rd, taken down. Massive effort on the site by Downtail. Opting to go for the information with the Sail Drone instead, but Dasani, 2 crisp shots from the flank will convert the round for Zhugang, and it will be 6-6 at the half. Immediately popping the run back, and they're going straight through. Yeah, and Lotus should see this. The first bound, a second, the spray transfer, peeking around the corner and finding a third. Water finding a ton of value off of the ultimate. Jin's been waiting here, extremely patient, now starting to move, and the timing is bad for him as Yuji does manage to take him down, peeking forward with the util in hand. You go for a little bit more. This is still a 2v4, so not favored, but actually just ahead of the team, and now the showstopper for Dasani is going to be chasing them back, won't connect, but now a 2v3. This is a more winnable situation than a 2v5. Also doesn't change that that's where it came from. Rossi over the top, Dasani plucks him out of the sky. Now position known, the grab net comes out, but it connects onto herself. Oh no. A little bit of a whiff from Dynasty, and it's 1v2, but they connect! How on earth have they done that? The spray transfer, Snappy with the Dynasty wins the 1v2. Absolutely insane stuff after the absolute whiffing of that deadlock utility. Should hear the player rotating in from mid, and that should be a free kill. Rossi the first to fall. And now Yuji peeking forward, finds a second off the stun and a third. Really well played from Yuji. He just creeped all the way forward, heard the players, and they were just completely unaware. Second shot, the third, extremely clean. Brutal crossfire to get through. Spada bang. I think he was spotted. The knife might come out. 75 damage, but he comes back in. No way. Sure, he's hungry for that ace. Haven't seen any just yet today, but I mean, he's peeking out. He gets 4, and he gets the ace. Dasani. Wary that there could be someone close. The Nightfall's going to be invested, as well as potentially this lockdown. Doesn't connect on 20, but they didn't realize that Dasani was in the corner. He takes down 3. Dasani is taking his team over the line. Your winners for today will be XG. Hello and welcome back to Zoogang versus Peace and Love. I hope you guys have hydrated and grabbed some snacks during the break, because we're in it for the long haul. We're off to map 3 of Lotus. It's been an interesting game so far, as we've seen each team taking the other team's map pick. It started off on Split, with XG taking it 13-8 against Peace and Love. And then over on Ascent, pretty dominant from Peace and Love, who managed to take it 13-6. So now we go over to Lotus, and okay, interesting. That's right, I forgot about this. This is where Water doesn't play the Phoenix. It's still going to be Doctor on the Neon, so all good. The one trick is still doing his one trick of sliding around and just kind of terrorizing the server in general. And on the other side of things, Dasani's back on the Raze, which I believe is more of his comfort role. I mean, we just saw him play Jet, where he still did okay, but nothing quite compared to what we've seen him do on Raze. So yeah, going into Lotus should be another interesting game, as, like I said, we're in it for the long run here. We're going all the distance, all the way to map 3. So I'm going to hydrate myself, make sure I don't lose my voice. And yeah, while we wait for the game to load in, good time to drink some water, everyone. Stay hydrated. Oh gosh, I've also just forgotten that I have a camera set up now. You guys can see me drinking water. But yeah, I mean, I believe this is just XG's standard Lotus stuff. I don't think they would have changed anything up. I don't think they have any reason to. On the other side of things, where it's the Peace and Love way of doing things, where it's always different. It's always a Neon, at least. A Neon, sometimes a Phoenix, sometimes a Raze, sometimes all 3. And now, as everyone has loaded into the lobby, it's gonna be another interesting game. We have XG starting on the defense side, where pretty much every single pistol round, they love to push A main here. And I believe in pretty much every map I've casted where they've played Lotus, Dasani's gotten 1 at least. And I believe once he got an ace. I think that was quite literally 1 or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The game was 2 days ago. This is what they love to do. Whereas Peace and Love, not having any of it, probably aware that XG like to do the rubble control at the start of the game. And as such, they're going into the C site where Yuji is awaiting, all blinded up and ready for Doctor. A good trade though. 2 for 2 at the end of the day, and Downtail won't be finding any either. So now in a 2v3, the bomb will go down. Sparta Bang is here, and Dasani is on the way. What can they do here? All these players do have health, but as I say, that Sparta Bang spotted the head of Issa and dropped him where he stands. And now that the back of the site has been cleared, XG can slowly make their way forward. Dasani looking for any targets, looking for anything, as Water will be the first to show his face. Whereas Lazy on site turns his back at just the wrong moment, and Dasani will end up winning the 1v1 over towards main. XG, 5 for 5 now in pistol rounds, continuing their dominance with the sidearms. Of course, last map, for the first time, we saw them lose a round 2. I'm sure they won't be wanting to see this happen. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Because on the other side of things, of course, Doctor has a Stinger. You pretty much never see him in a round other than the pistol rounds, where he has anything but a Stinger, a Vandal, or a Bucky. Or a Phantom. I think he's actually a Phantom user, now I really think about it. Yeah, I think he uses the Phantom over on Split, I remember that. But yeah, he loves forcing up. So shouldn't really be any surprises for Zoogang. They should expect this, and as such maybe play a little bit more cautiously. As I say that, Yuji's just creeping out and mound on his own, gets a good deal of damage across to Water. No kill converted though, and now as the door gets opened, looking to crunch onto this area where Yuji's kind of in the open, but he has converted with the Sheriff onto Issa. As the hit is just going to continue onwards, and Yuji gotten one through the smoke. Okay. Like I said, there's not a single game I've casted where there's not just a bunch of spamming through smokes. That is kind of just the current state of Valorant, I suppose. Sparta Bang going for some cheeky jump peeks, and, well, Yuto's going to chunk Doctor all the way down and give Shinobu an easy kill. The Santaiko will be a clean one, as Now XG will go into their bonus round with all the weapons that they have here. I believe it's, what, some amalgamation of Spectres, Bulldogs, Guardians, and Rifles. And since Yuji was the only one to fall, I believe he will be buying up a Vandal or a Phantom, whatever he desires. As yeah, okay, I was completely right. They brought through a Vandal, a Bulldog, a Guardian, and a Spectre. And Yuji has gotten a Phantom, so I mean, 5 different weapons, plenty of arsenal going into things. Light shields for the most part across the board, so I always say this every single time, but XG's bonus, it's got some bite to it. They've worked out what they want to do with the economy as a team. Normally it works out pretty well for them. Stasani's going hunting towards Mound. Nothing gonna get given to him just yet. So let's see if Shinobu will get cleared here. Doctor aware of it for a second, but these other players, okay. Shinobu just wanting to teleport out for a moment. Might have gotten a second if he didn't. As now Dasani surrounded on Mound. That space has fallen. So is the site in just a moment as Spada Bang is going to be pushed all the way back. No one here to help him out in this 3v3. But a good start to the bonus, right? Bringing it down to, you know, this lower number situation where anyone could still win it. And even though they don't have the best weaponry, see how they choose to play things. See what they can make do of this, as now the fragment grenade comes out. Not going to connect onto anyone, but they will know that no one is waiting right here at the side of Bend, as Yuji should have spotted the gun barrel, but unfortunately can't convert. As this will be a clean post plant, I guess, for XG. Not XG, no, Peace and Love. What am I talking about? As, yeah. Things are going about as you'd expect them to, honestly. No bonus conversion. XG just gonna be, you know, fine to buy up weapons. Like I said, they've figured out the economy and how they want to deal with it. So they'll be absolutely fine in this round, even if they've lost the last one. And I mean, it was fairly clean from Peace and Love. They still had 3 rifles, so they're also doing just fine. So this is now an important one for Zoogang to convert to make sure they don't go down to an eco anytime soon. There's plenty of players pushed up here in B. Seems to be a little bit of Peace and Love's game plan to fight towards this mound area, as well as claiming a lot of space towards B, and it's paid off once again as Lazy's spotted Shinobu lurking around in those little corners and cubbies. Peeks out a little bit too early. Now the call is to go back towards A, and this is where Dasani's waiting, but it's just Dasani, and the jiggle peek won't give him anything. Lots of damage coming across, but unable to convert in any of those kills. But now holding another angle, Slide will rip his head clean off. Barreling onto the site. He should be getting this bomb down anytime soon, and Slide, okay. This is a rejuvenation of Peace and Love's players that we haven't really seen the whole series, but as I say, that Spada Bang's come alive as well. Unable to get a third. And now, with that Thrash invested, it won't spot anyone, but just in general, it's come down to a 3v1 where Downtail is positioned. No, spam through the box. No way he's just gotten watered by doing that. But Issa will shut it down. No clutch awarded. Just a round going the way it should. The team with the advantage ending up converting, so no problem there at all. So now XG just down to the Sheriff buy. What can they do with it?
Find the leverage and wedge it open.
Now once again, Peace and Love looking like they might want to go towards this mount control fast once again. Gaining that control early. Pushing Yuji all the way back. And like I said, they are just up against the Sheriffs. So they should have pretty easy access here. And with the door being opened, 2 free kills delivered straight to them. Yeah, now it's just a 5v3. There is a flank, but Doctor is all good to deal with that.
Planted.
Now just the 2 players remaining, Yuji and Dasani. They've been heavy hitters for XG, and well, Dasani got a clean shot. Yuji as well. Okay, let's see it. Second one for him. now in a 1v2. They are just playing together, so Yuji not really much of a choice but to run forward. Some damage dealt, and some nice shots, but won't be anything more than that, and it won't really matter too much since,
Go, go, go!
I mean, look at the economy. I mean, Peace and Love are doing just fine. They'll all get rifles, and even if they lose this one, they'll still be fine. And they have 4 ultimates, so, I mean, even the ult economy going their way. Of course, on the other side of things, you have the Null Command, Neural Theft, From the Shadows. So some stuff to play with. But yeah, I mean, so far in this map, it seems to be none of the duelists really having a standout performance, but all the rest of these players coming alive as Slide is going all the way in, just hops over that trip, not catching him at all. And even though the showstopper doesn't connect, the rifle will. Now the lockdown to hold these players back. A good paranoia, and Shinobu's gotten 2. Just picking a timing and fighting into that lockdown area.
Area's clear.
The final 2 players of Peace and Love pushed all the way forward, spotted by the drone, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Don't know when Dasani decided to pick up the Odin. Didn't think that that was a weapon that he'd be down to play with, but there he is, getting one with it. All the same. The defuse will go through. 3-3 now, so good recovery from Zhugang. Yeah, not too many ultimates put into it, honestly. I mean, there was the lockdown and the showstopper from Peace and Love. On the other side of things, I mean, they didn't really have to do anything, so getting a round win, the other teams just wasted 2 ults. Zhugang probably feeling pretty good about it. So, yeah, now as we go to round 7, see what they can do, and it's going to be some fake aggression towards the A site. This is the first time Rubble's really been taken, and there's nothing really behind it. The spike's still going over to C, and Yuji has claimed a ton of the space, but he's just really not ready for it. With the overdrive popped as well, these players of Zhugang just really aren't ready for this. Shinobu has teleported all the way over, but it's a bit of a Hail Mary play. Nothing comes of it, just now a 4v5, a 3v5, when it could have been a 4v5. And Slide doing excellent work here. This is a form that we really just haven't seen from him today. And now that the raise of Peace and Love is finally showing that impact, they're having an easy go of things. So it has come down to a 2v3 from a 2v5 as well. Spider Bang, okay, hitting the shots. Dasani, now the only one remaining, but Water will mop up. Definitely the numbers coming into play there. Peace and Love not letting anything get away from them. Yeah, Shinobu, I mean, he teleported over, maybe just a little bit late. If he had gone a little bit earlier, then he might have had a chance, but I mean, the conditioning there from Peace and Love was just so good, right? I mean, they've just gone towards B and C every single round, so that finally, when they go towards Rubble, they send the Neon running in, so much utility behind it as well, even though it was just Water with the Gecko. I mean, Zhugang just bid on it fully. All the players just stayed towards the A site while the hit ended up going C. Yuji just, yeah, since Split, just hasn't really been able to find that value off the Cypher that he was doing so well with on Split. And okay, Slide might have just slipped past that Owl drone, not 100% sure. Yeah, I mean, Zhugang just finding themselves unable to deal with this. Lotusani's finally gotten one onto Issa. That's the opener that they needed. It is just the luck that has gone down, so you don't have to worry about that. Now the Thrash comes out. It's going to be going in towards the C site. Good Null Command and 0.9 knife just to hold these players back as Yuji finally coming online. Going for a third. Won't find it, but the Shock Bolt from Downtail will get the trade effectively. And okay, that was a pretty crazy shot from Dasani. I think catching the head of Water while he was jumping up there. Don't know why he was jumping, but all the same, ends up in a round win for Zhugang. 4-4 now, so keeping things tight. Yeah, I mean, XG, Sparta Bang, great timing on that 0 point, shutting down all that utility as it was coming in, and yet another round where the ultimates from Peace and Love just really haven't been able to find that much. So now, for the first time, we're seeing Peace and Love going towards the A site, although as I say that, they've just broken the door. It's actually going to be a B split. Now the Hunter's Fury, just to try and get some damage across, to try to slow this down just a little bit. And I think he did get a decent amount of damage through, but no kills. So a lot of these players on Peace and Love, they're low, but still alive and still holding these post-plant positions as now the retake comes out. It's a big flood as Slide's gotten 2 with the showstopper. Sparta Bang getting a bit of a consolation kill. It's just him and Dasani left in this. All down to Sparta Bang. It's a 1v2, players in either direction, and a slide out from Doctor. Will rip his head off and take him down. 4 to 5. The big investment of ults from either side. It will be Peace and Love who come out on top.
Yes, this should do.
I mean, yeah, I mean, XG, I mean, it's an odd one where they seem to be struggling at the start of every round. And then sometimes they're able to, if they're able to identify where Peace and Love are going, they've been, you know, pretty alright at shutting down those hits. But if they don't get that right read, it just seems to fall flat a little bit. Now a big fight towards Rubble and Shinobu. Won't be getting anything out of it. Sani left in this corner. They know he's there, and the Phantom will only deal 140 at that range. So once again, I mean, they had the read right. They chose to fight, but just didn't go their way. The Slide overheating a little bit, though. Will potentially give XG a way back into this round, especially with Lazy so low and Downtail spraying through the smoke. The reload, though, okay. Baiting Lazy to peek straight into the arms of Yuji, down to a 2v3 now, so this is winnable, but Issa, such a deep position, will get taken down by Downtail, but now in a 2v2, 1v2, be down from a 1v3, the relay bolt is perfect. And you saw Water there, had the Dizzy up and ready to play off of a moment's notice. So well played between Doctor and Water to make sure that that didn't get away from them. So yeah, I mean, Slide has been doing excellent stuff here for Peace and Love. Where Doctor and Water maybe are slowing down a little bit. He has come alive in this series. Pulling his team through here on Lotus, and I mean, things haven't gone too out of control for either team yet, right? This is, could still go either way, right? We could still get a 6-6 half out of this. Especially with XG still choosing to put so much towards this, and Dasani, he's got one with the showstopper, and now the light weaponry, as light as it is a flawless Thrifty. Getting my words mixed up.
Last round.
As yeah, that one kind of came out of nowhere. XG finally winning those fights. Downtail getting some with the Sheriff. I believe there was a Stinger kill in there. Yuji got one with the Vandal, and Dasani hitting another showstopper. So, you know, a lot poured into that, but it comes out with a round win. Flawless one. And like I said, now this can go towards 6-6, which I'm sure XG would be delighted about considering how rough it's been for a lot of these rounds, right? Like, if XG hadn't been, you know, hadn't won this pistol, we could be looking at, you know, an 8-3? Yeah, 8-3 right now. I can do math. So yeah, now going into this last round of this half. It's just going to be a slow creep up on the A site. There's some Cypher utility here to potentially hold it back, but I mean, they've gone into B a few times, so yeah, it might be another B split here. Last time they did this, XG weren't able to retake it, but Yuji's gotten a good start finding Water. That player who pulled the ultimate out. It's a bit behind his team, unable to get traded, as Yuji's found another one onto Doctor. So now two of the better players from Peace and Love out of the round. Zoogang probably feeling confident about this, but a 3v4, Dasani's fallen and Yuji is low as well. Now the Neural Theft will prevail the positions, and that'll give Downtail a chance to flank through main. Did have to open the door though, and with Yuji losing that fight, Suddenly things are getting a little bit dangerous here for XG. Lazy spotted, his position known, but just not giving anything to Downtail. Just a sliver of his shoulder seen, and yeah, they know that he has to fight, but Downtail's picked a good timing. But that'll be all it is. Another 7-5 half going the way of Peace and Love. It's been 7-5 for Peace and Love every single first half we've had. Of course, over on Split, XG then proceeded to win every single round of their attacker side, except for one. Whereas on Ascent, things just really didn't go so well for them. They just really weren't able to do too much against the interesting play from Peace and Love. Whereas here on Ascent, I mean, Peace and Love, what can they do on their defense? Because Zoogang have definitely looked more comfortable when they're on the attacker side of things. And if XG keep winning pistols as they haven't dropped one today, then XG definitely still have a chance here. It is by no means over just because the score is a little bit biased towards one side. Now that Dizzy over the top, the fight towards Mound. Paint shells exchanged as Slide will be the first to fall. Doctor just kind of leaving him out there. There's just Water and Doctor here on the side. The wingman potentially to hold these players back as it, well, actually doesn't connect at all, but Water will. Now the trades go back and forth. We're all the way down to a 2v2. Doctor on the side. The Neon sliding forward. Manages to connect onto Downtail as for once. This is a pistol round that could go the way of Peace and Love. But Yuji, he's been on an absolute heat of this map. The only player really keeping XG in this. He'd have to win a 1v2 clutch here with the Sheriff. And Doctor is low. Will fall to any shot. 5 HP. And it's not like a cross is being held. They think he's gone all the way through spawn. So Yuji will take first contact but misses the shot. And Doctor will bail Peace and Love out here. Finally winning a pistol for them. And this is the first time that XG have been staring down, staring down the barrel of a pistol loss. So now we have to see what they do with this, right? Because I've said it every single half up till this point that XG, when they do win that pistol, they have a really good plan on how they want to manage their economy going into their anti-eco and then bonus rounds. So they always have a good start to these halves, but now that they've lost a pistol, what do? Can they pull out a thrifty round of their own? Or will they just have to wait until the rifles come out and then maybe they can fight back? Some early aggression shown towards B-Main, just taking that space and showing some presence. Removing the Killjoy utility. The turret will go down, but that's a refreshable bit of utility. It'll come back a little bit later on. Is okay, Yuji creeping forward has found Issa. He's on the other side of the map over towards A. Doctor found one of his own, and well, now the call for XG is actually going back towards that A site. So maybe wanting to go and pick up those rifles if they can. There is just the one in this breakable door area, so if Doctor gets overwhelmed, that's a Stinger, that's a Bulldog that can potentially be picked up. Lazy, though, coming over to help out his team is, like I said, they want to fight into this. The Marshal ringing out. It's traded by Spider-Bang. A classic at that range is definitely not something you expect to see. So now Doctor wants to fight. The door to tree has been opened. Players for Peace and Love are here. The bomb will go down, so they will get that plant money unless Doctor, nope, stops it before it even goes down. And that's a pretty good pistol round. And then second for Peace and Love. Finally managing to put that one up. It's the first time in the series they've won the pistol in the second round. Now in their bonus, they, don't have the greatest buy of all time. But, I've seen what Doctor and Lazy can get done with those Stingers, so I'm not really too worried about it. And Slide, he can continue shooting like he was on their attacker half. I'm sure they will be just fine. So yeah, now that they have the guns, how do Zoogang choose to play this? This is Lotus, where it does tend to lean attack aside. But they gotta start somewhere, and up against the bonus is a good place to do that. to get that first round in, just to get started. Then you can look at putting those ults up on the board and then converting rounds over and over again, snowballing them together. As they have seemed to make the right read here of just going in towards the A side. There is no one here waiting for them. So, I mean, I don't even really know how that happened. It's just peace and love, sort of just let it go, and XG made the right read to walk in and get that bomb down. So in a 5v5 retake, I imagine that Peace and Love have some sort of retake protocol that they wanted to lean into here. Definitely had some form of reason to let this through, as Sani is going to be fighting forward, fully blinded up, gets traded by the Bucky jumping around the corner. That's all it will be, though, is now the rifle picked up and some shenanigans going on in that dark cover. Downtail and Yuji will end up winning out as, well, suddenly it's all down to Issa in the slide, and Issa doesn't have much health left, and Yuji will pick up 3 this round. As the bonus will not be converted, but a decent amount of damage done. 3 rifles dropped out of the hands of Zhugang. So now we are waiting to see what they do with that. I mean, like I said, Doctor is just so happy to play with the Stinger. And I mean, he's got his overdrivers ready, like up and ready as well. So even though he actually could get a rifle in this round, he's choosing to go with the Stinger, because if he can run and zoom into people, then that kind of fits him a little better, I'd say.
Scanning ahead.
And what's more, if they win this round, his economy will be booming, so definitely a respectable decision there. 3 players pushing into Yuji. They've broken the trip, and, well, an unfortunate dink through the wall as Doc just slides out, does get taken down. Yuji readjusting his aim, won't be able to find water. It will just be a 1-for-1 trade, and these players pushing all the way forward into flank, not slowing down. Reslide has got another. Traded by Downtail. It's still a 2v3. So XG are retaining their advantage here, and the trades are so good from them. So now Lazy's position is known. He's managed to bring it down to a 1v1. So the kills just going back and forth. It's all down to Sparta Bang versus Lazy here. A fake TP and a dark cover onto the spike, so baiting out the peek from Sparta Bang as he finally, okay, no, doesn't actually TP up into it. Sparta Bang peeks again, and now the flash drive out. It's well placed, and Lazy not ready for it. Does go down, and, well, now with that round converted, bringing it up to 7-9, XG are in a pretty good spot here to start putting these rounds together, putting more on the board. It's on the other side of things. Peace and Love are just down to an eco round. And here a timeout called by Water. Very early on in the half. It's the first time that, you know, any timeouts have been called this entire series. And Water, this is a big moment to call it. Now going down to that eco round, I imagine that they're either going to be calling something kind of crazy for this one, or they're just going to be talking about how they want to adjust going into their gun round for the next. You can see on the minimap they are pinging something. Don't know how much we can really read into it. Or with the pings on B. The call might be to just run it down on B. I mean, this is a half buy, and Doctor's pretty good at running. That's what Neon does, so wouldn't be surprised if that's the call. And then we'll have to see what the adjustment is going into their gun round afterwards. So we get back into things. Timeout eventually going to end. Yep, looking at the buy, it's not super great, but now Lazy going up to a Stinger. He's going to invest a decent amount of money in to do it. And yep, looks like we might have been right. It's not running out of B quite, but it is a slow walk, clearing that space.
I must wait.
The camera will spot that proactivity, as Yuji will get the first through the box, just spotting the shoulder of Lazy. He's now droning into the site. Dasani's going in, but he doesn't win the fight against Doctor, but now fully revealed. Okay, blinded up, revealed, and he's still getting kills with the Stinger. Now, the Bucky dropping out of heaven alongside Water.
One enemy remaining.
Them actually making a good go out of this. I mean, I don't know exactly how that happened, but just Issa and Water. I mean, it was off the back of like, Doctor, let's be real here. The fact that he got 2 with the Stinger there against players running into him with rifles is kind of crazy. Yuji making the read to go around the back, but there's a turret here, so he will be spotted. Now it gets destroyed, and these players should know where he is. Holding a crossfire. I'm sure one will peek off the other, but well, Water's giving him a way back into this. Issa's upgraded to a rifle though, so this is just now a good honest Valorant 1v1 as Issa gets the timing and brings down Yuji. Too many angles to check, and Issa's position completely unknown. So it got a little bit close, but I mean, I'm sure Peace and Love are going to be happy about that, because that was their half by round. They didn't invest that much into it. Wasn't quite a thrifty, but Stingers, Spectres, that kind of weaponry was brought into it, and they come out with a round win. They also have 4 ults on the board, and Water's 1 away from his, so once again, we're going to be seeing some pretty chaotic rounds, I imagine, as looks like XG might be wanting to come in towards this B side. They have the Mel command, so the call might just be to go fast as Dasani is hopping on in. We're sliding Lazy though. Just shutting down this entry. Lazy tanked all the way down by the Hunter's Fury, but we're slide by his side and Issa as well. They are just going to hold on to that B site, and Spike was delivered straight into their hands, so now Zhugang no choice but to continue fighting forward into it. Yuji, okay, he was spotted for a moment, and now the one's going in the way of XG actually. Bringing it down all the way to a 1v2, but Downtail only as a sheriff. As the dart will pop out, won't scan anything. And Water, just playing not to break it, but just to stay hidden. So Issa could pick a timing at any moment to swing out, and he will off of the contact from Water. And that'll bring out Peace and Love all the way to 11 rounds. XG maybe running out of steam a little bit. Certainly from Dasani. I mean, 9 and 13 at the bottom of the scoreboard, so yeah, ever since Split just hasn't quite been able to find that same performance. He did excellent on that map. Whereas now it's just Yuji who's still putting up the numbers, but it's not quite enough for his team, as the rest of them are just, you know, kind of sitting in that middling area where they know they're having some impact, they're playing their role, but you know, you just don't have that standout performance. And when you're up against a team which has players like Water hitting shots like that, yeah, it's just not really working out that well for them. Now Slide pops the showstopper, will take down the Null command. Can possibly be revived, but it's unlikely because all these players on Peace and Love are ready for it, spamming them down. 2 going down through the smoke. As XG, okay, they might have actually made a go out of this, down to a 2v1. Doctor's made a good go of this with the Stinger. Now popping the overdrive, going out, the running gun with the laser fingers will bring down Shinobu. And that's a gut-wrenching round to lose for XG. They had the numbers. They had a moment where they could have bailed themselves out of it. They put so much in as well. 3 ultimates. I mean, it wasn't a full buy round. They didn't have those rifles, but it's unlucky. It's just kind of running out of steam for XG. Yeah, I mean, Doctor, incredible work there to win the 1v2. Bring their team up to map point and series point. 1 round away, 5 chances. Now feeling the pressure, Issa going to invest that lockdown, so now XG having to reconsider this hit. It's going to be a quick pivot onto B site, and there's no one here waiting, so the showstopper won't find any except a lot of empty space. So at least B main has been more or less cleared, but then he peeks out and it's right into 2 people, and Slide just continues hitting. Yuji though, looking to keep his team still in things. He's found another one, Water falling. And his team is now in a 4v3, but Spada just inside that smoke. His team unable to trade him, and Doctor as well has found Shinobu's playing in the cubby, and Downtail is going to be the next to fall. It's all down to Yuji. He'd have to get all 5 to keep his team alive, and I don't think it's going to happen. 8 bullets, the defuse is being stuck. This is going to be it for Peace and Love, is through the smoke. Doctor finishing it off with a 3K. Peace and Love will be your winners today, taking the series in 2-1 fashion over XG. And it's well played from them in the end to pull it over the line, and XG maybe just running out of steam a little bit. Even though Yuji was shooting the entire time, it's just maybe not quite enough. Wasn't quite enough to keep his team in it. And with that, I mean, that's pretty much all we have today. I'm going to see if I can pull together a winner's interview with one of the members of Peace and Love. We will be right back. I will get that set up. But yeah, thanks for watching the game. It was a bit of a crazy one, losing my voice towards the end there as well. But yeah, I mean, an awesome series, and Peace and Love will be moving on, and we'll see XG in a few weeks' time. Once it gets to split 2 group stages, they have made it through, so they're not eliminated. They still have some Valorant left to play this year. Whereas Peace and Love, well, they'll be going on fighting for that higher seeding position. And yeah, I mean, that's it for now. I'm going to go to a short break, and then hopefully we will be back with a post-match interview. We're going to be slowly creeping out. Dasani here should be making first contact as the wall drops. Snaps onto Regen, and another beautiful shot, catching onto Cats. The third one in the round. 2 players, both of these are low. Both would fall to 1 bullet as Water takes them down. 2 body shots, 2 kills. If they choose to contact into him, this could be dangerous, but Doctor's looking the wrong way. Finally turns at just the right moment, takes down August. Now sliding out through the screens with the stinger. The run and gun action, like I said. Look to the side, Shinobu's been taken down, overwhelmed by the utility from Zupa. Downtail though, 2 wonderful shots and a third. Taken down, massive effort on the side by Downtail.
really cool. You can do that?
Yep. Okay. Hello. We're
Dude,
live. We're in the post-match
We're
interview
live.
now. I'm here with some of the boys from Peace and Love, and you've won in 2-1 fashion over XG. How's the feelings? How's the vibes in the Peace and Love camp?
I think my team sucks on map 1. I don't know how to explain it. That lazy guy and that Easter guy, they're frauds.
Me.
I gave them a speech about not being terrible, and they came back.
I'm 16 years old.
Worked.
Oh my god.
Well,
Probably
yeah.
16 years old.
So, I mean, obviously, you guys have already qualified to go through to the group stage. How was that getting into the group stage and knowing that you guys? I mean, I know it's not the biggest impact games that you're playing now, but like, how was it getting into the group stages? What was the reactions like for that?
Swag. It was pretty good, mate. I felt quite happy. You know, woke
I
up,
think,
played some Valorant.
Yep.
I think we're
What'd
gonna
you do?
win this whole relegations thing, and we're gonna get first seed. So
Okay.
you know,
Do you get money for this or what?
getting into groups was like the starting point. You know, it was like not too surprising. We're gonna win.
Okay, so the goal then is to win up the relegation stage and get that top seed then.
Yeah.
That's so true,
Yeah.
Bethy.
Water promised me pizza.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I
what?
didn't promise him anything. I promised this guy nothing.
Hold on, why are you backing out now?
I'm poor,
Breaky.
dude. Stop.
Well, I'll put one more question out then. So how was just in general the prep? Because you guys play some pretty interesting stuff. Doctor with the neon, and then we're seeing, you know, the rays and Phoenix stuff as well. So
Right,
what's
yeah.
that like?
I've got lots of stuff to say about this. We did no prep whatsoever. I motto is adapt. Just figure it out
Yeah.
once we start losing.
That's
I think
so
the
cold.
prep was I played ranked like 4 days ago, and I said I was going to quit the game, and then here we are.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess it works out then. Just better players, I suppose.
No,
That's right.
it's, you know, Water said a saying, and it's like, the job of a good IGL is to bring out, like, better than the sum of its parts. You know what I mean?
Ah,
And I
okay.
think that's what peace and love is. It's like, you look at Lazy and you look at Issa, and you're like, wow, these guys are not doing very much.
I
and
literally
then,
carried.
put them-
Like,
and then, let me finish. And then you put them on a team with the Phoenix and Neon main, and then miracles happen.
that's what I'm saying. Are you proud of us, Atlas Cast, for
I'm
winning?
very proud of you. I mean, I casted you
Thank you.
guys
Oh,
thank you so
like a
much.
couple days ago, and you guys absolutely. I forget who you even beat. I think it was who was it that I casted?
KT or PLX?
I might have it might have been Cooper Troopers. Yeah, and you guys absolutely
Absolute
rolled.
cold.
Broads lost to bandits without me.
Absolutely cold performance by me.
But yeah, I mean, you guys
Because
have
I'm
been doing
nothing without me.
excellent
You
since.
hear me? Nothing
Yeah,
without me.
I'm sorry, Jaden, LC. I'm sorry.
They lost to bandits without me. Unbelievable.
Hey,
What do you say about bandits?
No. It was Lazy was
Really
just
shots.
having a
No
really
way.
bad game, man.
I was having a bit of a mental breakdown.
Anyways, let's just carry this on because you know the Atlas has got places to be.
Yeah, awesome.
Of
Well,
course.
thanks for coming in, and I didn't expect all five of you guys to be here, but thanks for showing up for the interview. And
Let's
thanks
go,
for
chat.
everyone for watching. I will see you guys in the group stage because I think this is the last game that I was going to be casting here in the relegations, but
no.
we will all be watching Peace and Love go on in the tournament, see what they can get done, see if they can secure that first seed. I believe, who are you guys up against next? You guys up against
Corn
Bandits again?
dogs.
Oh, Corn Dogs.
Wait,
okay.
no, isn't it corn dog? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was the
Corn
winner of the
Dogs.
last, yes, and then if you guys win that, then you're up against Bandits, and then you're up against Fun Crew, so
If we win that.
yeah, if you win. Well, I believe,
It's a guaranteed win. All
who
right.
knows? Yeah,
Cheers,
I'm
mate.
confident. I'll
Thank
be
you for
supporting
casting
guys.
us.
No problem.
All
It's
right.
been a
Thank you for
banging
casting
game.
Atlas.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm 16 years old.
Bye bye.